Hello and welcome, as it is the 20th day of June 2018. Welcome. Everything is within your own risk and own reward. This is a 400-minute time frame of LMC, which is going down over the last, well, basically since the first week of February, as we're starting the 4th in the next couple days. All right, the more I see these down moves and not going up, especially when they actually have movements up and down, I enjoy the fact that I can just accumulate more of these for when they're ready to go. I almost rather, when I enter into positions, that the price doesn't go up too much anytime soon so that I can acquire or accumulate larger amounts within my day trading. And then when the price is ready to go, I'll have a lot more to sell at higher prices. But that is part of the trading. Now, I made a spreadsheet yesterday and I've expanded it for more details, and it's got to do with Litecoin and just a few, and I say few, I mean a few other coins. We can see Litecoin on the 400-minute time frame with its fourth consecutive red candle down. It was above the 18 average of highs. Now it's hanging in with the 18 average of lows, as it's having this first test to revert the trend, as the only about 10 periods going down here. Green candle up to make the band go sideways. I don't think this is establishing resistance. It's barely above the band. So stage one is in place. A lot of times these bear markets, it's not like this is much of one, can really be difficult to go through, but I do expect that it's probably not going to have a leg lower, although it very easily may. And around the 180 and even down towards 170 change is an area of support if it goes there. But I'm not really here to talk much about Litecoin technical analysis. However, I have made a spreadsheet crossing Litecoin with a few other alternate coins. I'm going to bring that up now. And I have 7 different alternate coins, which is Dash, ZEC, Extra Bytes, and I'm going to do Extra Bytes technical analysis in this video as well. Komodo, Voxels, Potcoin, and Lomocoin, the one that I just shown. Column B has the price crossed against Litecoin. Column C is the differential in price. Now this is from before the Litecoin move down to the 0.02 handle. This is at roughly around 5 p.m. Eastern time. I'm reporting this at 7:45 p.m. But the alternate coins all doing worse against Litecoin. At this time, Litecoin was up about 5% against the dollar. So all the other ones were down 5% versus the dollar. And, well, Komodo or XBY was down 15%, as Voxels as well. On the second column, the 10-day, I have well, they're all losing against Litecoin. When you see these percentage moves like this, what's the play? Well, generally speaking, what this tells me is that the value of Litecoin is doing significantly better than all of these. And you want to buy them more often than not. Well, you basically want to buy when they're down, sell when they're higher. So you would buy these coins for that of Litecoin. However, when I talk about extension, you'll see that this move could very much be larger. I've included the 18 high and low. So over the last 18 days, the highest closing price is the following. And with the exception of Lomocoin, every single coin is at an 18-day low right now. The extension tells me its percentage move above or below the 18 average of closes. It's using a front weighted 18 average. So they're all well below the 18. And when I talk about that's the case, that's when you buy. In the case of Potcoin, it's barely below it. So it would be in the area of the 18 average of lows. But this also tells you how big some of these moves can get. Now, with that being said, a minus 22% is technically like plus 30%. I could change this to actually adjust it so that when it says minus 21, it would get the fair conversion to a positive number, which would work out to about 28. But as long as I use this as a reference for myself, because when these numbers get really big, that's like a telltale sign to do a transaction trade. Of course, if it's a big negative number, and they can be much bigger, then I would be looking for situations to, of course, buy these coins and then of selling Litecoin for that. And the opposite's true when it's much higher, to sell the alternate coins and acquire Litecoin. And the 100 max represents the largest the volatility got within the 100, which is a reference to see the bar that can be set. And you get the idea that price action can very easily, especially with these alternate coins, double from where the 18 average of closes, and even do better than that, especially when you see some of the 3-4x moves one can have in a 7-10 day period. I'll be looking more at those as I go through. Now let's take a look at XBY, which is extra bytes. And the codes that I put on there, they're not random by any means. Those are the 7 coins that I'm going to primarily trade against Litecoin. I will most likely add others, but that will be in the situation when you are to sell Litecoin to buy altcoins. Then I'll look at the list of altcoins to buy, and whichever ones at the time is worth buying, I'll add to that list. But for now, those are the ones that I plan on working with, as well as Ethereum, but I don't need to put down the spreadsheet because I already have a good read on the charts with the trading view. So with XBY, it's getting down close to my buy level. I'm buying at a hair above 15. I'll show you my buy orders very soon. And it's been in a downtrend lately over the last 1 week. We'll let it load up and we can see grinding its way lower as markets go up faster than they go down. Let's look at it for the last month. And as in a case in point, down it goes, very quick move up. And now the move from here to here, it's still above this low. This low is in at, I'm just trying to read it, 1488. There's 2 reasons why 1500 isn't that great of support, although I do have a buy order there. I've already calculated before, like a month or so back, where the ultimate retracement could be from where it came from, and that number is pretty close to 500. So therefore, that's where I'm going to be most aggressive. And again, I'm going to show you my buy orders soon, as well as even the sell orders, just to give you an idea of how I'm going to trade. But with that being stated, there's a good chance that when I'm trading this with Litecoin, I could sell 20% of this at any given time. But anyway, how it's set now is what I'll show you. 3-month time frame. Or not 3-month time frame, but a span of 3 months probably would be a 12-hour. Let's make it a 12-hour chart. Okay, so there's that big move that happened, like all the other cryptos, big move from like early December, maybe late November, which ended pretty much at the end of the start of the year, late December, early January. A high of 5,842, close to 6,000. And now we're down to close to 1,500, 4x down. 4x down. And if we go down there, a test of the late January lows, or early February 2nd lows. Okay, so when you test an area for a second time, you're more vulnerable to go through it. You're also not as enthusiastic about any type of rallies that can come towards that area. You can see more in a logarithmic chart, but I've been following this for more than 10 months now. So my original entry price was like 21 Satoshi. So I've seen this thing go through a lot. And I can't lose on this overall because of all the profit taking that I've done and my cap in what I'm buying, because, well, let's now show you how I'm positioned with this. The fonts will look a bit different because this is a screen where I'm not logged in with, as it's on a different browser. For positioning, I have no choice but to do it this way. So I'm going to now show you how my orders are set up. The current price right now should be around 1,600. It's up to 1,634. So when you see this, this is what you're buying at. But before I do that, I actually want to show you something very important. When you look at this, you got, and every exchange has it this way, you got the price, You got the amount that the person is asking, or the group of people at that price are asking to buy and sell, and what the value is in Bitcoin. When we look down here, this is my buy order here at 1503. And there's only 1.18 Bitcoin in sum to get there. So let's go down further. Numbers at about 2.8 when the price dips to 1340. Now we're at 5 Bitcoin. Sum. Price is at 1100. Okay, we're at 6, so it's gradually going higher. We're at 7. Price action is at 835 here. Okay, 7, 8, 9 maybe. 8.2, 15. Somebody, and it isn't me, has a buy order in at 599 asking to buy 1,256,295. This also could be a combination of people, but pretty much almost all of them is one account. 15. And then if we scroll down to 577, there's another 5 Bitcoin order in for almost 1 million XBY. Even below that, at 549, and these are the key numbers, and I haven't even mentioned them by any means. I've kept this to myself. I've known these numbers for about a month. I haven't told anybody them. Not a single person, not till now. And yet this is where the key buy orders are coming in. This is exponential mathematics that states that 5 to 600 is a big support area. And then the market goes down 24, and then it doesn't change much. I don't know why 180 is like that. I'm not buying that low. Okay, so I'll show you my buy orders, but remember where the big numbers come in. If you're buying down at the 500s, and this is a key support level, it's probably wise to maybe decide at 600 or 601. It's, I mean, for what you're going to lose out on 20, 40, or 50, or 100 basis points, this may not get pulled through. And these orders will change. Always want to check up on the orders and adjust your bids. And I'm going to have to change mine. So let's take a look at my orders. And in here, I placed this order on February 1st. I think that's February 2nd. February 1st. Yeah, month of 2nd. So February 1st, February 2nd, February 1st, February 3rd. So I've known these levels for a month, because that's when I last adjusted these buy orders in. I'm looking to buy 5,000 of them at 522. You can't see it on the screen, but that's worth 2.6% of a Bitcoin. I'm looking to buy 1,862 and change at 625. It's worth 1.1% of a Bitcoin. I want to buy 2,200 of them at 1,006 for 2.2%. And I'm looking to buy 1,000 of them at 1,503, as I already showed, or shown, 1.5% of a Bitcoin. What I'm going to have to do with this 522 is raise it a little bit. What I also may do is I might shrink this 1,006 down to about 1,500 rather than that at 22. And then leave the remainder to buy at a 600. I probably will take what the 522 will give me plus the remainder off of the adjustment here. Now, as far as sell orders, you can see strategically how I do this. 27.79, I'm selling 730. And then the number goes to about 3,000 for 715, 15 less. Then at 31, I'm doing 700. This is a simple way of doing it. 3,200 down to 685, and so on and so forth. I won't show you any further than that, but I am very serious in swing trading this to an effective way. However, Litecoin. Actually, you know what? I'm going to show you the data for the last little while on how the price has closed and its changes. And we're back to the spreadsheet. So I'm going to click on the XBY tab. This is just a bunch of data that's not important. Now, if you're interested in the stats that I've shown, like getting the highs, the 1 week gains, the 2-day or 10-day gains, and you want another tutorial, then I can do that. So here is the date of XBY, or well, the date used. Every single cell one is February 19th. This is the price, and although it's 1E, I'll explain that when you actually got numbers in here. And this is what the price is against Litecoin. So that's calculated by taking this price and then dividing it by the Litecoin price, which is on a different tab. So it took a while before this thing started moving. Like I stated, I was into it as it just early got going. And its price, there we can see it moving in here. 27 Satoshi, 45, but the actual Litecoin price is here. And I want to start at this point. So we see here 12724. That's 3 zeros. And then 3 zeros, 162. 176 up to 229, up to 350, up to 418, 435. And then it goes down from 435 to 244. Up to 600, up to 800, up to 118, or over the 1100, however you want to state that. The 11 number stays at that 1,000 into June, and then it starts to fall. 73, falls to 40, falls below 40, falls below to 25. So 4x down. And of course there's intraday's highs and lows as well, but throwing that part aside, these are the times at midnight UTC. The 25 numbers stay. Now we're down below 25, 5x loss. A push, a 2x gain in just a few days from 19 handle to 42. And then a further gain of 57 is where August the 20th. Down to 26. And then stay steadily in the 32s, back down to 27. As we now head into October, rallying to 53. Then HUD staying in the 28 range. So here's a spot where buying down here meant you buy, you hold, you wait, you wait, you wait, you wait, you wait. And that's just how it goes. Oh, I did a lot of waiting with these things because it was really hard to trade it for really anything back in this time frame. But how to just staying in the 200 numbers as it was staying at 200 Bitcoin Satoshi then. And then all of a sudden, 300, 450. So now all the things you were buying in the 200s, you can start selling on December the 7th. And this was a beautiful day for me. I think it was this one here on December the 9th, because that's the day when Litecoin started to rally. So when this market went down from like 50,000 to 29,000, I was trading this on Cryptopia within this exchange. And I was getting a lot of my buybacks here, which works out because this price goes way higher, because after the Litecoin rally finished and it then sold off a little bit after, XBY, that's when it pumped. Look at the price differential go now. So we are at the 29 handle, we go to 44, 37, 31, and then 51, 41, 65, 100. So we're back to that previous level from before. We lost 5 times, gained 5 times. And now it's retracing from that point. Oh, 153, 183, 250. So after it gained 5 times, it gained another 3x. So that's like an 18 times gain. Or what, a 16 or whatever it is. Still, it's a great gain. So now it goes, it's at 003. And it goes down, 002. 0018, 0016, 0013, and now it has dipped below 10, and its last price 790. So this was at the 30 handle, so that is about a 4x loss again. It's just a lot of awesome volatility when you're able to trade a lot of the coins that you're big fans, or we'll see, whatever, hodlers or whatever name you want to use, and then trade it with the altcoins. Heck, if XBY is your main purchase, you could use that as your base currency if one chooses to do so. It's whatever you hold in large numbers. So you can do this with, obviously I'm doing it with Litecoin. Maybe Ethereum has a lot of base markets, although I don't know where you would trade Ethereum with XBY. Maybe on, I don't know where actually. Maybe on Cryptopia. I don't know if no, they don't have an Ethereum market. I would have used that if they did. I don't think. Anyway, you can do it with any exchange. Ethereum, ZEC, Dash, Neo, whatever, Verge, whatever it is that you like, and trade that against all the other altcoins that you have. And then when indicators tell you it's time to sell one or the other, then you just do so. Wow, I spent a lot more time talking about the planned discussions, which is now done. I've done everything that I wanted to do, and well, I want to do more actually, but I thought I was going to do it for a much quicker period of time. But before I finish, just take a quick look at some of the early movers, because it's 8 p.m. Eastern time. And what I'll do is I'll take a look at the percentage gains just for the day, which is only like an hour or two. I think it's 1 hour. And it tells me that, I don't know if this is delayed or not, but GByte is down 15%. On the positive spectrum, Geo is up 12. Let's take a look at, okay, interesting on Geo. I was looking at that earlier today. I don't know if I bought it or not some more. I can't remember, but I did look at this coin on Bittrex today. Anyway, when you're in a downtrend like this, now you're at really the, I guess you had a little bit of battle in here. The band never got really too much to flatten out. But you have this fall throughout February 13th. This is the 4-minute time frame. So 13th to the 17th, where it was going well below the 18. And then how it was able to just drift and go sideways. Also worth note for a lot of big moves, what I used to say about months ago, you generally don't see this in the crypto game, but I'm seeing it more and more often nowadays. But you see this oftentimes in the, well, at least the precious metals markets. I don't look at stocks or the indices or Forex too often, but I see it all the time in the gold and silver markets, where before a big up or down move, there's going to be a fake you out before it happens. Well, the fake you out would be the last few periods before it happened, as it broke down below support at around the 22.2 handle. Take a look at this on a shorter term time frame. Okay. So this was, people talk about these moves. Oh, was it a pump and dump? Maybe. Maybe not. But a lot of volume came in, as all they always do when you have moves like this. There's only one way it can ever happen, is with large volume. And the sell-offs will always happen on smaller volume. But it's always worth noting that when all of the bids happen from after the third big green candle, or right before, or starting with the last good green candle, from that point on, all the transactions were ones of bids and asks that were basically recently placed. So when these buys got executed, we were looking at orders that were placed over the last 6 days. So as this market was going down, an example is such, okay, price action is at 26. John Smith puts a sell order in at 31 and he did nothing. And the time goes on and all of this asks, the sell orders, would get filled. So therefore, before this rally happens, on the very earliest stages of it, there is only a small amount of sell orders depending on what early traders put in there. But as this went through, oftentimes you have to go through a decent amount of these ask offers because there was more time allocated for people to place those orders in. So when the selling back down happens, when you see the start of this red candle down to the bottom, you're in a situation here where all the bids have to be newly placed, because when this rally started, they broke this out from 20,000, so obvious, or the 20 handle rather, and yes, 20,000. But the bids, as it was going up, these will all have to be newer entries. So these are all people that wanted to get into this market after this event occurred. And when you see this happen on lower volume, then that means that there wasn't a big rush of people that wanted to get into this market after seeing what happened. Because if this consolidation happens on higher volume, then that tells you that after this happened, there was a lot of people that were rushing in to, well, first put buy orders in so that and if you're buying the market up big, that's usually what you want to do as well, because they're confident, of course, the market going higher. And I've seen that on many markets. I talk about XBY at the start of the video. I used to be obsessed with the bid and ask order book. And I would see that, quite frankly, when these new things would start to get going, that the bid orders would fill like no other. And I would see low amounts of Bitcoin, like, oh my goodness, only 5 Bitcoin to crash the market to nothing. And a lot of codes will have those numbers. And then next thing you know, the rally starts going and it's 17 or 22 Bitcoin to crash the market to nothing. Because a lot of people add bid orders in. So those are just things to keep in mind within such. And of course, as technical analysis goes on the short-term time frame, you have seen a market that did break out to spectacular gains. So maybe it is up for just the last little while. Now, as far as the biggest loser right now, it looks as if, again, GByte, it says it's down 17%. Okay, I guess it is down 17%. Let me pause the tape. I don't own any of these. Now I have to decide if I will own some very soon. 1 day time frame. Well, I guess the Fibonacci math will tell me. Okay, the lowest number is the 1200 handle. And we go to like 8270. So I'll bring my calculator up and see what the numbers that come up. Okay, roughly around 4,025. Well, 4,000 and then the 25. Well, that's where it is now. I'm going to buy. And I just bought. And yeah, well, it's well below the 18 average. It's well below this support line, and it's at a 61.8% level. And it's an expensive coin because I bought a little more than $200 worth of it, and I didn't even get a half of one. But it's 0.037, so it's more expensive than Litecoin, so it's over a $400 coin. About a $400 coin. Okay, so the 18 average of highs is in at about 635. That's like 80% gain. And there's nothing wrong with taking an aggressive play and not selling until you're near that level. Or if you're buying well below the 18 average of lows, then you have the opportunity to sell at the lows or in the middle around the 18 of closes. Selling at the 18 average of lows at 556 would be a gain of about 50%. So, I mean, that's nothing to sneeze at. And that's what I love about this crypto market game is how much you can get. AGRS is down quite a bit right now too, because it's down 9.63%, and the markets haven't been playing for that long. And okay, well, if you missed out yesterday at the low, you have another shot at it. If you're looking for an entry position, yes, it looks bearish, but you have so many red candles down in a row. At some point, it's got a bottom. It's at this area. It could, but it could keep going down as well. Or it could go sideways for 4 days and be more down movements. But I go on the play that if any type of situations like that happen, I'm just going to buy more. Let me just check to see if I own any of this. And I do. I last bought at 220, which was probably around the 18th day. So now it's down a little bit more. It's really the highest it can be before I would think, okay, maybe I should start to speculate. But the problem with buying now is what happens if it manages to go all the way down to these lows? How many times are you going to buy as the price goes lower? I don't want to buy too many times. So let me just see the next buy level. What I do is I'll calculate Fibonacci again. I mean, the low is easy to determine. Look how many times hit the 45.50 area was. So I'm going to put that number in. And the high, well, we got this level, which was hit again. That's at about the 31,300 handle. Okay, so key levels are at 9,500 and 15,000, and it usually appears as extra. So I'm buying below the 14.9, so probably closer to 14,000. Let's just see, where's the key levels? Markets oftentimes come back to where they come from. So yeah, 14,000 is where I'll put a buy order in to buy my next amount, or my next order set is a buy at 14,000. So with that, I'm going to conclude this video. I shared some of my strategy in which that I'm playing within these markets. It's fun. It's a computer game. I've been saying for a while it's like a video game. You know, I gotta talk like I did back in the day when I called it computer games. The first ever game that I can remember was one that my mom and I programmed when I was like 10 years old. You bought a magazine and they gave you the code and you just typed it in. So you really weren't programming, you were just putting the entry in from what the programmers did before. But that was pretty cool. It got me really interested in not only computer games, but computer programming. And and the fact that I got memories of such an event at a young age. This was on the Commodore 64 computer. It was pretty darn near cool. But this is what it is. It's a computer game. And these score numbers, the value of your cryptos in fiat currency, in Bitcoin, in Ethereum, in Litecoin, whichever one you want to do it in, how many Litecoin you have, how many of this you own, what you do within it in the video game, because like a lot of games, they have like a store in a game and you can build up your health or your weapons, or you can play in a game of life. You can do a whole bunch of different things within the score of the video game. And when you have things happening like the light pay, where you can have like a debit card and pretty much use it as cash in this world, now your video game is getting pretty darn near cool. Thank you for tuning in and have yourself a magnificent day. Bye-bye.